Hello, Pewter people. Scott Reynolds here with another Pewter Pulse. The franchise tag window is now open, but Tampa Bay won't be using it on wide receiver Chris Godwin for a third straight time because it would just be too costly. Doing so would result in a 144% raise for Chris Godwin and put his contract value at $28.8 million per year, which would make him the seventh highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. By comparison, Mike Evans ranks number 20 on the list, and Godwin, who made $20 million per year over the last 3 seasons in Tampa Bay, is currently number 23. Godwin turns 29 at the end of February and is coming off of a dislocated ankle. And frankly, no team is going to pay Godwin $28 million per year, not even the Bucs. So he'll likely hit free agency on March 12th unless he and Tampa Bay agree to a contract extension first. Yet there could be a couple of teams hot on Godwin's trail in free agency, and I'm going to talk about those in today's Pewter Pulse. But first, a reminder, hit the thumbs up button and leave a like on this video. Also, leave a comment. Love reading the comments. And doing those two things helps us with the YouTube algorithm. So go ahead and do it right now. And also, make sure you subscribe to Pewter Report TV, our YouTube channel. We're on the way to 18,000 subscribers, thanks to you. All right, now let's talk about Chris Godwin and how much of a threat the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Las Vegas Raiders could be and trying to steal him from the Bucs. Chris Godwin is having an absolutely amazing career season in a contract year in 2024, catching 50 passes for 576 yards and 5 touchdowns in the first 7 games of the season before dislocating his ankle in a Week 7 loss to Baltimore on Monday Night Football. Godwin was one of the league's top receivers at the time and was on pace to record 121 receptions for nearly 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns. Liam Coen's offense was fitting Godwin like a glove before he got injured. So it's only natural that many would assume that Jacksonville would be after Godwin in free agency, with Coen taking over as head coach. Trevor Lawrence needs another top receiver to pair with Brian Thomas Jr., who had a sensational rookie season with over 1,200 yards last year. Coen has a compelling pitch to make to Godwin. And overpaid and oft-injured receiver Christian Kirk could be cut or traded and save $10.4 million in cap room for the Jaguars. Jacksonville already has $31 million in available cap space and needs a top receiver like Godwin. The Raiders could also be an appealing destination for Godwin if his main objective is to strike it rich. Godwin has a long-standing relationship with new Las Vegas GM John Spytek, who had been Jay Slight's right-hand personnel man since 2016, the year before the Bucs drafted Godwin. Spytek is looking for high-character winners to help turn around the Raiders, and Godwin certainly fits that description. The Raiders will likely try to implement the Bucs' "I am that man" blueprint when it comes to player acquisition, and Godwin absolutely fits that criteria. Las Vegas doesn't have any star receivers since trading away Davante Adams, and it has plenty of salary cap room at $92.5 million, which is the second most in the league. The Raiders could literally overpay for Godwin if they wanted to. It's not like Chris Godwin won't have any other suitors, but no other team has the insight into Godwin's recovery from ankle surgery like Spytek's Raiders or Coen's Jaguars would have, because both of those men were in the building last year and have firsthand knowledge of how his rehab was going through January. There could be another team that emerges as a possible suitor once free agency starts on March 10th, but I think that most teams will back off Godwin because of his age and the fact he's coming off of a serious season-ending injury. The Bucs still remain the front runner to re-sign Godwin, and I've gone on record as predicting that that will happen. I can't see Godwin leaving Tampa Bay, and I think he wants to be here. The fact that Godwin's agent and the Bucs mutually agreed to push back the void date on Godwin's current contract from February 17th to March 12th, as first reported by Fox Sports' Greg Allman, is a great sign. It buys both sides time to work out a new deal and save some cap room, as Godwin was set to count $18 million in dead cap money in 2025 due to the acceleration of previous bonus money. Now, I've been asked for months what I think is going to happen because Godwin and the Bucs, well, they're important for the success of this franchise, and those two entities remaining together And I just can't think of a valid reason why he would want to leave Tampa Bay. Godwin is about to turn 29. He's not 26 and coming off of a rookie deal. I think he's at the stage of his career where he's thinking more about the legacy he wants to leave. Godwin is already the second best receiver in Bucs history, behind future Hall of Famer Mike Evans. We already know that. With one more extension, though, we're talking about Chris Godwin as a Bucs future Ring of Honor member. And hopefully he'll have the chance to be a Buccaneer that goes wire to wire in red and pewter like Derek Brooks and Ronnie Barber and Mike Allstott did. And hopefully Levante David, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin can join that list of legends. I'm not sure what Godwin's deal will end up looking like, but my guess is that it will be right around $20 million per season again. Perhaps a little less due to his injury, perhaps a little more because price tags usually go up each year as the NFL salary cap increases. There won't be too much difference between Godwin's deal and Mike Evans's deal. And these two guys love playing football together and have been the league's best 1-2 punch at wide receiver, in my opinion, now for years. And that brings me to this. Godwin and Evans want to do something that no one else has done together in franchise history, and that's win another Super Bowl. With his next contract, Godwin will already be on pace to earn well over $100 million in career earnings. So I don't think this is really about the money. The Bucs are much closer to being a legit Super Bowl contender than the Jaguars, who have a whole new coaching staff in 2025. And they're closer to being a Super Bowl contender than the Raiders, who don't even have a real quarterback. Godwin and Baker Mayfield already have quite the rapport together. And the Bucs offense isn't changing much with Josh Grizzard's promotion to offensive coordinator. Godwin knows he'll thrive right here in Tampa Bay. Now, it's crazy to think that Godwin has suffered a serious, unfortunate season-ending injury in each of his last 2 contract years. The Bucs took a big chance on Godwin's work ethic and ability to rehab his knee injury to return to form of being a 1,000-yard receiver in Tampa Bay the first time around. They gave him a fair market value contract of $20 million per year over 3 years back in 2022. Now they're prepared to do it again, and they trust Godwin's diligence in his rehab because they've seen him do it before. Chris Godwin is a gamble, but he's a risk worth taking. I think Godwin wants to reward the Bucs for their loyalty to him as well. That could come in the form of maybe a small hometown discount. Usually the Bucs have the fact that there is no state income tax in the state of Florida as their advantage, but the Jaguars also have that same advantage, as do the Raiders, who are also in an income tax-free state of Nevada. If anything, I could see Godwin's representatives likely wanting to speak to Jacksonville, Las Vegas, or any other team that might be interested come March 10th in an effort to drive the price up a little bit at the open of the negotiating period when it comes to the legal tampering part of free agency. But at the end of the day, Godwin wants to be in Tampa Bay, and the Bucs want him in their starting lineup. I still firmly believe that Chris Godwin signs a 2 or 3 year extension at Tampa Bay and hopefully retires as a Buccaneer in his 30s. Well, I also believe that you guys want more Bucs content, right? From Pewter Report? Well, if so, head over to Pewter Report TV. That's our YouTube channel for more of my Pewter Pulse videos and other great Bucs video content like the Pewter Report podcast, which are Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock during the off season. And make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Pewter Report, and visit pewterreport.com for all your free agency and draft coverage. And I'll be back soon with the new Pewter Pulse.